What's up, everybody? My name is Splattercat, and we are here at the Nerd Castle with the next episode of Craft the World. In this episode, I think we're probably going to make a big sprint. In the last episode, you'll remember that I forgot to make the next piece of the puzzle, so I guess you guys got me right there. I suppose we'll stick with the game, simply based on the fact that I forgot to make the piece of our little portal. So we'll just call it 4 for today. Part of me, like the little evil part inside of me that wanted to play a new game, was like, I should just do 2 and then the video will be like a minute long and I'll be like, ha 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 ha, and run off into the distance with my troll face on. But you know what? I don't have enough billy goats to consume right now, so if I take my troll form, unfortunately, I think I shall go nutritionally wanting. Let me make our next piece. So let's have a look here, and also turn down my volume because, God, I just blew my eardrums out. You guys won't hear it because I equalize everything later on, but for me right now, I'm pushing the down key on my volume because right now I'm ringing with the sounds of dwarfy happiness, which is not nearly as pleasant as you might think. Now then, I keep forgetting. I think it's in here somewhere. There we go. There's the 4th portal part. Oh, we're out of steel. Well then, I suppose we should probably make ourselves some more of that. So let's take the remainder of our iron and we'll smelt it with the coal. And of course, that's all gonna have to be mashed out. I'm gonna save the remainder, like that 10 iron right there, for anything in the future that we may need to construct that's gonna use it, but we've also got a little bit of time before those 30 bars are gonna be smelted out. So we'll give it a minute. Somebody should be sprinting down there right now. There are a few things that get a dwarf's blood boiling, like the possibility of smelting something, so they should be well on their way fighting over the opportunity. We're gonna place a block right there. And this is not gonna work as a rain catch. Let me build a stone wall right there, and right there. Grilled meat? I can't eat this anymore. I'm a picky bastard. Why don't you make me something nicer? I kind of embellished what he said, but I'm pretty sure he was thinking it anyway. So you know what? If you thought it, you were guilty first. Especially if we call you on it here at the Nerd Castle. Now then, let's put in some bread maybe? He doesn't want grilled meat anymore, so I suppose everybody will just eat those bread loaves. It seems a little dry and tasteless to me. I'd prefer that there be a butter table next to it as well, because butter is one of those banging things in life that it's just like, oh hell yeah, there's butter. I am excited about this proclamation. Let's get rid of those. And then if I can put this, I wanted to make this pit of sadness like 1 lower, but it doesn't appear as though I'm going to be able to. Why won't you place a block right there? Like, why are you being so difficult about this 1 block? Like, that's the only block I need you to place, and you guys are just being dicks about it, and it's not upsetting me, but it's definitely making me reevaluate your intellectual fecundity. So let's, come on now, did I use the right word? I think I did. Whatever. If not, I'll just say that fecundity means, I don't know, skill level. There we go. I'm having brain farts right now. Not just brain farts, but just absolute brain implosions. Like, bad things are happening right now with my thought All I want you to do is place this block here. I hate you guys. I'm just going to leave a hole in the architecture, and we'll just say that it was a malfunction. An engineering malfunction. Nobody's going to die. That's always the scary thing about being an engineer. I have friends that are engineers, and I was like, so how does it feel to know that if you just, like, screw up royally, like, tons of people die? Like, because as a geologist, like, I can mess stuff up, but really the only person I injure is myself. Like, the dynamite goes off in my hand and I, like, blow myself up or something. Like, with a structural engineer, like, there is the real problem that if you screw up, you may dump, like, 400 people off into an ocean. Oh my. What in the hell is going on here? I don't like that they could spawn inside my base. That upsets me. I also didn't make any new health potions, so this may backfire. We may lose this battle. I mean, we've got a pretty good headway on them. That's really the secret, is keeping them from piling up during these battles. The moment they start to pile up is when you get in trouble. And let me get rid of that, so that my dwarves are no longer doing dumb shit left and right, like climbing while being beaten on by the enemy. And we have a full-on retreat going now. Our mana hasn't recovered to the extent where I feel comfortable about using it for anything. So let me use the last remaining little bits of our health potions to make sure that certain people stay alive. By certain people, I mean you, Stefan. God, why don't you turn back into Urkel and make my life more pleasant and comical, you nerd bastard. Now then. That was the most ridiculous, like, If I had to think about all of the storylines that were in sitcoms back in the early 90s and late 80s, I think Urkel turning into Stefan just because he went into a machine was one of those ones that I was just like, who thought of this? Like, who was sitting around the round table at the moment was like, listen, Urkel is just killing us right now. He is definitely not the spotlight of this series, even though he was. I'm being ironic right now as I say that, so bear with me. We don't have Urkel. Let's assume for a moment that we don't have Urkel and our show sucks, which it doesn't. It was a great show. I loved that show. But, assuming that they don't have Urkel, who should we replace him with? A ridiculously good-looking guy named Stefan, who just happens to be Jaleel White, just like Urkel. I feel like Jaleel White probably had some hand in deciding what happened with that cat. Oh my god, there are so many of them. Like, what in the hell? I definitely think they shouldn't be allowed to spawn inside my base, because it just rendered all of my defenses pointless. You guys need to stop running away like dunces and actually fight. Because those are not scary enemies. You can take them, I promise. Maybe we can get some arrows off on him. So right now the AI is really frustrating me a little bit. They aren't being friendly with me. They're causing me lots and lots of sadness. But we lasted long enough to where all of them are just going to burn up anyways, so I guess that's fine. I'll put a steel door on both of these so that the same thing doesn't happen in the future. Let's tell everybody to go rest, because it seems like it's going to be one of those episodes in which, where is my bed? It's around somewhere. The AI is just really going up and out of its way today. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but it is trying really hard to do stupid shit today. Like, it is really just kind of rounding the corner on the Olympic gold medal of stupid shit. Now then. Place the blocks I tell you to place. Make the sparkles go where I tell you the sparkles should go. At which point we can all be happy and friends. I need to put a door in right there. And so I don't think it's going to have to be anything super secure. Because honestly, my dwarf secure... These stupid beds, I swear to God. I don't know... They have like a little overhang right here that shouldn't exist. Like, it clearly occupies this one space. It's not overlapping into the other space. So we've got like this weird airline policy where if you slightly are just barely peeking in, you take up all of the extra space, and therefore you are forced as a player to purchase the remaining space, and that makes me very, very sad. I feel like I'm being crotchety this episode, but I feel as though it's fine because my crotch is definitely, my gaming crotch right now is definitely very, very irritated. It is blazing with the fires of 1,000 suns of irritation at the moment, so I feel like I at least have a little bit of something to bitch about. There we go. I'll place a door right there, and hopefully this time it'll work. Let's get back to the beds. So I'm basically redoing what I did last episode because the game is being a little bit obtuse. Let's put the luxury beds down in there, and the second that they've all been carted back to the stockpile, what we'll do, we'll start placing beds from the back to the front instead of from the front to the back. You'd think I would learn these lessons in the past, but I guess not. Hard head, hard lessons learned. Now then, this room should be fully completed, I would hope. Let's get rid of, they'll only sleep in beds inside of a shelter. This appears to be a shelter, sir. This definitely appears to be a shelter. I mean, I don't want to be that guy that's trying to point out the obvious, but we have a door. There's no extra openings. And the walls are all filled in. So I feel like this is indeed a shelter. Why do you hate me? Is it really so difficult for you to just let me have this, maybe? Just let me have this, just once. Please? I'm begging you. Just let me have this before I implode from sheer misery. Deep, low-down misery. The worst type of misery that there is. Low-down misery is the type of misery that really just kind of gets your motor of misery cooking. A motor doesn't really cook, I don't think. It gets your motor driving pistons and also combusting combustible fluids. There we are. A somewhat more horribly awkward metaphor, but at the same time, at least it works with regards to the mechanics I was trying to describe. Where's my... I'm working on it, man. It's not my fault that the engine won't let me do this. Like, I'm really trying to make your life easier and allowing you to go to bed, and it just won't let me do it. Okay, so somebody should place that in just a moment, and then we will finally be able to rest. I'm gonna put the scaffolds back in right there, and I should put a hatch in right there with a ladder. Let's do that. We'll do a hatch and ladder, which sounds like some kind of weird strategy. That really sounds like something that you would do while knitting. Like, well, today in knitting for the week, I'm going to explain to you how to do a hatch and ladder. It's like, okay, that sounds like a thing that was named back in medieval times. that somebody might have said whilst knitting. I couldn't think of a better knitting show. Knitting with Ned. There we go. Got laid off at Costco. It's Knitting with Ned. It's the only thing I have left, you bastards. Poor, poor Ned. Life has just not been kind to him. Let's go ahead and put the hatch in right there. I'm going to get started on more health potions so that I have a backup plan if this doesn't work the way I want it to. Steel, we've got enough of it left, so let's make another steel door. That's been forged. We'll go ahead and put in 2 steel doors down here. Just kind of lock this thing up super tight like a dolphin's butt. And then once that's done... Let's see, I was going to make health potions, yes. I don't remember where those are at. I think they're right here. Yes, indeedly doodly. There it is. We need some more berries. I am shockingly low on berries, which is never a sentence that I thought I would utter. Like, you never think about complaining about being low on berries until it actually happens. And then you're sitting there just thinking about the unconceivable nature of the challenge before you, where you're just completely out of berries. I'm going to have them craft the hell. Instead of craft the world, they're going to craft the hell out of some healing Oh, that is going to take a long, long time. I am so disappointed with myself right now. Well then, maybe I'll put in another crafting pot up here. How about that? Let's think about doing that then, so that we can at least double our production speed. It's going to be in this menu. Let me see. I haven't produced one of these in a really, really long time. We need another pot, which is going to cost us iron, which is something that we don't really have the luxury of, but we'll try. There's a new pot. And so now that we've got the new pot, we'll go back and let me take a look at the crafting list one more time because I've already forgotten. We need some coal. We need the pot, so we'll take the water that's left over. Zombie brains. We have loads and loads of Zed brains. We also have a lot of slime. I don't know where we get the slime from. I assume they say that we get it from the snails, but I've got this weird feeling that down there somewhere they're milking a dwarf and that's where we're getting it from, and I'm just going to feel horrified that I've used it for so many edifices of my society. But in any case, let's go ahead and mash that out, and we'll put one more up here on the top level once we're done, and that'll make do with it. Our Tesla coil. Let's go ahead and put in our Tesla tower. I don't know if this can be destroyed. It probably can. It seems like it would be a tad overpowered if it couldn't be destroyed, but we're still going to deploy it. There it is. And so we're going to get our Soviet-era Command and Conquer on and just start Tesla coiling the hell out of everything. Although my favorite unit was the Tesla Soldier. Once they put in Aftermath and you got to play as the Tesla Soldier, I was just like, yep, this is the coolest thing that has ever happened in the history of anything ever. It's just this badass dude with a lightning-spewing gun that annihilates anything in his path, and that makes me pleased as a pie in the sky. Why your pie would be in the sky, I don't know, except there might have been a food fight, or flinging pies out of a catapult seems like it would be entertaining briefly until you realize that you want to eat the pie, not throw it. In any case, the pie is in the sky somehow. Maybe they put Red Bull in it and it's got wings. No clue. As for the actual engineering of how the pie got there, I'm not going to continue to just kind of have verbal diarrhea about it. What I will say is that the pie is in the sky, and that indeed makes it happy. So, ooh, I like the lighting effects. Well done, Decavir. That makes my base feel as though it's glowing with a hellish, bluish, greenish, tealish glow of hell. That's a pretty good description right there, right? I'm thinking about putting it in my book. I feel like I could give Stephen King a pretty good run for his money with descriptive skills like that. Tolkien has nothing on me. He could describe a hill for a page, but could he describe a hill for a page using the same 3 words? I seriously doubt it. That is where you need Splattercat to step in. We're going to put in the pot. That should be all nice and done. How many potions have we whipped up so far? Ah, there we go. So now we have 2 people applying themselves to the cookery. Well then, we'll have to wait and see for the next invasion how great that's going to be. I do want to make like 5 or 6 of them possibly, because it seems like a trap with merit. It seems like a trap that definitely has not accumulated demerits. I used to get those all the time in kindergarten. Demerits were a major problem for me. So I went to kindergarten, and when you were in kindergarten, they had like these different colored pieces of paper. And how this worked is every kid had their own little slot on the wall. And the little pieces of paper were like your transgressions, because it was a religious school. And so they were all for like different sins, essentially. Like there was being envious, there was one for stealing, there was one for talking out of turn. There was basically a bunch of these things, and they were called demerits or tallies. And every day when your mom got there, she had to check this little slot in the wall to see if you had any tallies, and if you had like certain colors. So for example, black was like a really bad tally. That means you had gotten in a fight with another kid or something like that. And I was always getting purple tallies. And purple tallies, and that's kind of disappointing because purple is not my color. I mean, I don't feel like purple does much for me as a person. Just I don't wear it, I don't really use it that much. It's regal, and so if we're willing to accept that I might be the king of something, then I will accept purple, but it has to come with privileges. The privileges of purple. But in any case, I was always getting purple tallies, which were for just kind of running around energetically and just being like, because this is before AD, I think this is before ADD, before they just started throwing Ritalin out in the crowd like it was a rock concert, which is what they do with kids now. They're like, oh, he spoke once out of turn. Let's drug him! And then they just kind of bleach his soul with pharmaceuticals. But that's another point. Have I ever... Oh, that's bad right there. That is problematic. Well, there is the potential that someone might fall to their death in order to complete this mission, but he will be remembered. We need to get this elevator shaft fixed. So let's get all this out of here. I hadn't thought about... Oh no, they'll be able to do it from the elevator. Okay, that works out. I hadn't thought about putting in torches to make sure this all works properly. That was kind of a tactical error on my part. I probably should have done that. Let's go ahead and line this thing with torches, just to make sure that that doesn't happen again, especially once you get these ivies of the snapping variety, because plants that bite me, that's not cool. I had a Venus flytrap as a pet for a while, and it was pretty awesome. Kind of one of those pets that you don't really talk about or show anybody, but you take way too much pleasure in feeding it flies. It was gratifying. I don't know what it is about watching a plant eat a fly, but some deep down primal urge inside of me was fulfilled by it. Let's get rid of that ladder so that the enemy can't use it in the future, because they will. They'll do something dirty and they'll just be like, this is our ladder now. We're gonna rub ourselves on it. The only reason I went that far is because we had to talk about them, you know, being dirty with it. I added the wrong adjective and then I just kind of had to roll with it. Let's figure out who's wounded. No, you don't need to go to sleep. You do, though, for sure. Where is my... What in the hell is going on here? I feel as though this is like bullshit of the highest caliber. I am like starting to vaguely be vexed about this. I'm beginning to like cradle my head like Caesar and just wonder why my Rome is burning, because it's saying that this is like a building. And so people should be able to go in there and sleep. And yet they're refusing to do so. Your bed is anywhere you want it to be, pal. It's not counting this now, either. What in... There's not even a totem in there. Like... I am so confused with the way that they've designed the house system in this game. I don't think that hole in the wall will count. I'll fix it, but I don't think that hole, unless they change the rules in a patch, because having a hole in the wall didn't matter before. So maybe they changed the rules in a patch somewhere, and now you do have to have all the walls filled in or something. But people were sleeping in it just like one episode ago, so I can't really think that that was it. So he's able to rest. Where is my bed? Any one of these free beds with the totem next to it. That is really sort of becoming a stick in my ass, unfortunately. He just slept for a second right there. That is apparently counting as a room, but none of the sparkles are going around it. Essentially, we've got like a giant just kind of parade of weird things happening right now, and I'm so far beyond my boundaries trying to figure out how to fix it that I think I may just give up and just feed them health potions from now on, because the housing system does not appear to like me. It really seems to have taken a fundamental problem with my ultimate being, so let's make another Tesla tower. That always makes me feel better. Crafting tree. Let's see here. We could make another one of those, or we could just kind of cast... Ooh, we got a new power. Magic Explosion. What? Well, that's going to get tried out right this second. Magic Explosion. Do your thing. What can I do with Magic Explosion? Let's find out. Let's blow up some of these fish because they look like dicks anyways. That was way too awesome. That was absurdly awesome, and it blew out the back wall too. That is the greatest thing that I've ever done in this game so far. It is my favorite spell that they've ever granted us. It takes 20 mana though. God, that's expensive. And we aren't regenerating quite as rapidly as I would have liked to, so I'm gonna back off that one for the moment. I should probably just drink some mana potions. That would probably help. Let's go to our equipment menu and I'll drink a couple of those just to get ourselves back up on top of the problem. The problem is willing, the problem is ready to go, and so we need to be on top of it. There we are, fulfilling those biological problem imperatives. Now then, I did blow up a lot of my own stuff over here, and so hopefully these fish don't bite. That would be disappointing, but we'll take it as it goes. We're now diving down to the bottom of the lake, and please don't drown. God. Alright then, well, while it was fun, it did cost us a little bit of HP, but I had fun blowing stuff up, so anyways, I'll probably blow up like half this mountain. In fact, let's do it right now. I need more mana potions, though. I want to just go blah, 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 and just blow this entire thing up just like blah-cow, blah-cow, over and over and over again, making childlike 8-year-old noises while I do it, and squeeing with glee. How many more mana potions or health potions do we have, Ref? Let's find out here. We've got 26 of them, so they're actually crafting them at a reasonably decent pace. That's good. That's fine. I accept that for what it is. We need to equip a silver sword on somebody. So let's do that. You, sir. Oh, never mind. We already have one equipped. Okay, well, I'll give it to you then. Who wants my wondrous silver sword? Run down the hallway yelling that and see if they call the cops on you. Now then. Torches are all in place, so we shouldn't have to deal with these ridiculous vines anymore. Nice. Speaking of which, I'm not a fan of the whole vines thing that's going on right now. I just don't find them as entertaining as everybody else on my Facebook seems to. I don't know what it is about vines, but I just don't find them to be... Every now and again, I think I'll see one that's slightly humorous, but it's difficult to cram humor into like 3 seconds worth of iPhone camera footage. He's sleeping on the bed and he's not getting health back. We have that problem that we had before again. Unrest. There we go. Welp, I just don't know how to fix this right now. I'm kind of staring at the problem, really kind of racking my brain as to what's going wrong. Like, this is clearly, you guys are seeing this too. This is inside this room, so why is it protecting this room now? Weird things afoot all over the place. Maybe you have to put in a custom back wall now or something. I mean, in that case, we have put in a custom back wall though, so it should be working. Weirdness all over the place. Just general weirdness scrubbing all over us like a nasty, foul-scented soap. I think what I'll do is go into our furniture menu and look for anything that can be crafted right now. I haven't made a portal part in a while, so we should probably do that as well. I forgot in the last episode, and I think I've forgotten this one too. So let's make our portal part before we go any further. And then tomorrow looks as though it's going to be our last episode, which will be... quite the interesting circumstance. I haven't been really looking forward to ending this series, but at the same time I do have other stuff planned out, so, you know, we put in the capstone first. How exactly does that work? My assumption would be you would need to put that in there, and then this would just kind of be suspended by those two. The capstone goes last, but I guess it's just not going to listen to us. What do I know about anything? It's magic. Let's just leave it there. We're just going to call it voodoo magic, and then wash our hands of the whole thing. Pull a Pontius Pilate. Other things to be crafted. Stuff, where are you? I would love to advance my menu. 5th portal piece, you are not the thing. I don't see that anywhere, and I can't click it, so I'm not sure where it's hiding. It's gotta be in here. It's absolutely gotta be in here, and I just don't see it. Oh, never mind, the wall carpet's right there. I already have one. I must have crafted one at some point then. Suppose just drop it right there with the rest of the stuff. I don't really know where a wall carpet would go. If somebody was carpeting their walls too aggressively, I might assume they were insane, since carpet goes on the floor because it gives you that lovely little prickly feeling in between your toesies. I had a carpet that was a shag carpet for a while, and it was awesome. It pleased me. It pleased me deeply. There's something about a shag carpet that's just... it's filthy. And on one end, the whole premise of the carpet is filthy. It's a nasty carpet with like 6-inch long fibers, but at the same time, there's something about laying on a shag carpet and just staring at the ceiling that was inherently pleasurable. I don't know if that says something weird and subliminal about me, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. So there it is. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it. I loved the hell out of it. Let's make ourselves an easy chair with one of those draperies like you have at your grandma's house. That's the only time I've ever seen a textile chair like that is at grandma houses. Let's make ourselves some planks, and then we'll break off the episode after we make the easy chair. Yeah, we've obviously got to do that. So we've got to chop some more wood now, too. I think I'll do that in between episodes. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for another magnanimous, amazing episode of Craft the World. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our final episode. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.